Last week, I bought this Walmart Black Friday HP laptop for $219 because for the price, I was actually impressed with the specs. I did a brief unboxing and kind of a walkthrough, but most importantly, I showed you how to set up your new laptop and bypass the requirements for a Microsoft account. I asked the question in that video if you would like to see me do a memory upgrade on this and a debloat, removing all of the garbage that comes with the new PC, and overwhelmingly you said yes. So we're going to do a quick memory upgrade and then we're going to debloat Windows. Let's go. I will link the video from last week down in the description so that you can see the overview of this laptop as well as the initial setup bypassing the Microsoft account. I was surprised to see during the review of this laptop that it actually had an additional memory slot, and I just so happened to have an extra 8 gigs of RAM laying around. So I'm going to do a quick memory upgrade. These are actually very easy to upgrade, so if you decide to save a little money on a cheaper laptop and then do your own upgrades, make sure you stick around for that. I will also put a chapter marker where we start with the actual debloating of Windows in case you don't want to see the upgrade. You can skip right to that. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the specs in detail in this video. You can watch the last video for that, but I will give you the specs briefly here from Walmart's website. So this is the HP 15.6-inch FHD IPS Windows laptop, Intel Core i3, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabyte PC NVMe SSD. And when I purchased it, it was $219. As you can see, it is no longer $219, so I hope you were able to get one when it was on sale. But regardless, even if you weren't able to grab that laptop when it was on sale for $219, $287 is not bad considering the specs and that it's upgradable. Now, it does not have an additional M.2 slot to add a secondary hard drive, so if you want to expand your drive space, you will need to replace the one that's in here with a bigger one. But regardless of whether you have this laptop or not, last week's video on the initial setup and today's video on the upgrade and debloat will apply to any new laptop that you buy. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to go ahead and flip this thing over. We'll pop out the old memory module, put the new one in, and then we'll power it back up and we'll debloat Windows. Let's go. Real quick, make sure you subscribe to the channel because next week I'm going to take this new Windows laptop and convert it to Linux. Also, subscribing to the channel really helps me grow the channel. Thank you, and let's get back to the video. Another thing that I like about this is, unlike some of the really cheap ones, this one is actually very easy to get into. You have 4 screws here, 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 and here. After removing the 4 screws, you will need a pry tool to pop this bottom case off. There are many different types of pry tools you can use. I prefer the guitar pick style. I'm just going to start from this end. Kind of make it where you can see this, but you just want to get your pick in the end there and just kind of work it around. And all we're doing, let me see if I can get you a better view. You can see we're just working the guitar pick around this plastic case here. I need to flip it around where I can see it. Now I'll flip it around and work the other side. I'm just working the guitar pick all the way around here. All right, almost off. And there we go. Now over here we have the NVMe storage drive, so if you wanted to upgrade your storage, you just pop out this one little screw here and you can replace this one with a bigger one. Here are the memory modules, and they have these little plastic covers over it. And you can see we have the 1 8 gig that came with it and the 1 empty slot that I'm about to put this memory module in. Now this one comes with DDR4 3200, which happens to be the exact one that I had laying around from a previous upgrade. I pulled this out of a different laptop when upgrading it. and it's going to work out perfectly for this install. Now, most people will tell you, and accurately, that you need to unplug the battery here before removing or adding any components, and that is absolutely the case. And I recommend that you do that. I'm not going to do that. If this was a customer's or someone else's laptop, I absolutely would. But since this is mine, it's hard to see this. I'll try to zoom in on it, but one side is slightly longer than the other, so you just want to line that up here in these little slots. Shorter side to the left, my left, longer side to my right, and then you're just going to press it down till it clicks, just like that. Cover that back up, and that's it. It slides right into there. You definitely should unplug your battery first. I didn't do that. All right, so now we're going to put this top back on, and then we'll power it back up and we'll debloat Windows. And just make sure it all snaps back into place. And then put back in your 4 screws. I didn't point this out before, but there are 2 long ones and 2 short ones. So make sure you put those back in accordingly. These are the 2 long ones, these are the 2 short ones. All right, now let's power it back on. Hope it still works, and we'll get to debloating. Okay, for this debloat portion, I'm going to actually use 2 methods. You can use one or the other, or both. But I'm going to use a tool called Sparkle, and then I'm also going to use a very well-known and respected tool from Titus Tech. We are booted into Windows. I'm going to hop over here to Task Manager. I'm going to go over here to Performance, and I'm going to look at my memory, and I'm using 2 of 2 slots. And if I pop over here to System and About, now you can see that I have 16 gigs of RAM instead of the 8 that came with it. So that was a nice little upgrade. I haven't really done anything to this system. It's still the way that it was out of the box, with a couple of exceptions. I did add Google Chrome as a browser, and I did remove the McAfee antivirus that's on here because that is more of a nuisance than any bug you're going to pick up. You can use the native Windows Defender or watch my video on Bitdefender Free for Windows. I don't just use the Windows uninstaller because it leaves a lot of files and registry values and things behind. So one of the things that I did was download Revo Uninstaller. I've got videos on my channel about using Revo Uninstaller if you want to check that out. But basically what it will do, and there's a free version that I use, is it will remove all remnants of the program from your computer, everything. That's why I install that first, so that I can get rid of all traces of McAfee, but I haven't really done anything else. What we want to do is go ahead and download some software that can help us tweak and debloat Windows. And the one that I'm going to use today is called Sparkle. So we're going to open up Chrome browser, and I'm going to go to Sparkle Download. And that's going to be this first one, getsparkle.net. Do not click on any of these ads down here. I'm going to click on download and then the installer.exe. Do not click on any of these ads here. Okay, once that's completed the download, it will be located here in your downloads folder. I'm going to give a disclaimer here because anytime you are downloading software like this and making tweaks to your computer, you are doing this at your own risk. I have used Sparkle many a times. It is a very good program, but again, anything that you do is at your own risk. One thing that I will do is create a restore point prior to installing Sparkle, just in case anything goes wrong. We can always go back to the state we were in before installing Sparkle. Natively, for whatever reason, Microsoft doesn't turn on System Restore by default. You have to do that. So I'm just going to come over here and type in System Restore, and I'm going to click right here where it says Create a Restore Point, and you're going to come down here to Configure, and you're going to turn on System Protection. So by default, that's going to be turned off, but go ahead and click on Turn on System Protection, and then click OK. Once you have that turned on, you're going to come right here to Create. You're going to name your restore point. I'm just going to name mine Sparkle. install, and then I'm going to click create, and then I'm going to click close and OK. Now that I've created my restore point, I'm going to install Sparkle, and Sparkle has created an icon here on my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and run this. We're going to get the user account control. I'm going to tell it yes, and we're going to get the welcome to Sparkle. Now this gives you the warning here to make sure that you download from the proper source, which we did from getsparkle.net. You can also get it from GitHub. It's wanting to create a restore point for you here. I went ahead and created my own restore point, so I'm going to click no. Now you can see here on the main screen you have information about your CPU, GPU, memory, storage system, and all that fun stuff. The first thing I'm going to do is go to tweaks, and right here where it's got Debloat Windows, this is the main one that we're after. I'm going to open up the docs here so that you can see. Now this is going to go through here and tell you what it's going to do. It's going to list out all of the different commands for software that it's going to remove. So I'm just going to minimize this, and I'm going to hit apply and apply. Now here, you can go with the option 2 here that's just going to remove most of the Debloat and Microsoft applications that you don't use. I'm going to go with the first option where it allows me to select which applications to keep. So I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to come through here, 3D Builder, 3D Viewer, Alarm Clock, Amazon, Bing Finance. Anything on here you want to keep, you need to select it. If you do not select it, it's going to be removed. I'm going to keep my calculator and camera. I don't want any of this other stuff on here, but you may want some of this stuff. This is going to automatically remove Copilot, Teams, To Do, Netflix, OneConnect, OneDrive, which I definitely want to get rid of. It's going to keep painting photos, and I'm still going through here. Let's see, I'm going to take out the Xbox. This is not a gaming computer. I will not be doing any gaming stuff on here. I'm going to leave YouTube. So everything else on this list, it's going to remove from the computer. I'm going to click OK. And as you can see, the applied tweaks to Debloat Windows down here has a checkbox. So it should have removed all those programs. But let's keep moving here. So you've got your ultimate power plan you can select. You can align your taskbar to the left if you did not already do that. I did that in the first video. You can disable background Microsoft Store apps. I'm going to flip that on. Now Copilot should have been removed. I'm going to go ahead and flip that on. I'm going to go ahead and disable the game bar for me. For this particular computer, I do not have a Ryzen 7, so I'm going to click apply. We're going to disable location tracking. That's important. I'm going to disable lock screen tips. I don't need tips on the lock screen. We're going to disable Wi-Fi Sense. This is where Microsoft spies on your computer and identifies all of the Wi-Fi networks around you. I'm going to enable dark mode. There we go, looks much better. I'm going to enable in-test with right click. I'm not going to enable game mode. Again, this is not for gaming on this PC. I'm going to remove OneDrive because I'm not going to be using it. I'm going to remove the gaming apps because I will not be using them on this system. I'm going to set my services to manual. This will improve performance by limiting startup items. All right. Now there's some other good options in here. I don't need to clean anything right now. This is a brand new PC. This should show the restore points. This is the, apparently I can't spell Sparkle, but this is my Parkle install. Under utilities, you can run file checker, run check disk, all kind of utilities under here that you can use. Puts everything in here in a nice neat package for you. Quick access to the old school device manager. Go ahead and pop that up. Quick access to system information. Quick access to system properties. Now this is an important one here. This is a brand new computer. You've just got through debloating it, so you may want to come through here and go ahead and pick some software to have Sparkle automatically install it for you. I have videos on other tools that do a more comprehensive installer package where you can get a lot more programs using Winget. Check out that video. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do a restart after removing a bunch of junk. Okay, now that removed all of the Windows garbage, but there's still third-party garbage like from HP and Adobe that was added onto here that those tools don't natively remove. So I'm going to run Revo uninstaller here. Again, watch my video if you need help on installing Revo. But basically here under the uninstaller, you have two options here. The first one, and then it has Windows apps. I'm going to uninstall all of this HP stuff. Revo uninstaller creates a restore point prior to uninstall. Now I'm going to go ahead and click scan. Now it shows me all of the stuff that was left over after the native uninstaller. So I'm going to select all and delete. And these are all of the files that are left over after uninstalling. You don't realize how much junk is still on here after you uninstall something, but Revo uninstaller will get rid of it. I'm still showing OneDrive in here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that with Revo. There are some things remaining that will be removed during the next reboot. So go through here and remove anything additional, like this Web Advisor by McAfee that I missed the last time that I removed it. So let me get rid of that. Now, a lot of this stuff over here on your start menu is not actually installed on your computer, and you can just unpin it from the start menu. And I know someone in the comments is going to say, why don't you just use Chris Titus's tool? So to appease you, if you do not want to use Sparkle, you can go to Chris Titus tool, the ultimate Windows utility. You can come right here and copy this script. Just click copy, close this back out. We can open up PowerShell. We'll run as an administrator. Click yes. I'm going to paste that script there, hit enter. And the Chris Titus tool will load, and you can go to tweaks. I'm going to use some recommended selections here and just click standard, and you can go down through here and see what all it's going to do. I'm going to also click on Adobe Network Block, Adobe Debloat, Edge Debloat. Some of this stuff I've already done in Sparkle, like Disable Copilot. And I'm going to select Remove All Microsoft Store Apps, not recommended. This will remove store apps like games and all that kind of stuff. That's why it's not recommended. I'm going to do it anyway. Already got my dark theme set. I don't want recommendations in my start menu. I'm turning off the Bing search and start. I'm turning off recommendations and start menu. I'm going to show hidden files. I'm going to show file extensions. And now I'm going to run tweaks. And you can see here the tool's going to work. I'm going to fast forward until this tool is complete. Now that this tool has completed, I'm going to do a quick reboot and then show you one more very important feature about the Chris Titus tool. Okay, I'm going to pop back over here to the Chris Titus tool. I'm going to grab my script here again and copy. I'm going to open my PowerShell terminal back up. I'm going to run that as administrator. I'm going to go ahead and click yes. Copy my command in there, hit enter. Okay, now we did the tweaks where we did a bunch of these essential tweaks here. Now I'm going to come over here to the install, because this uses the Wingate Package Manager and allows you to install all of the software you may need, similar to Sparkle. So if you're using this tool, I just want to point this out. It also appears to have a few more options than Sparkle, so just go through here, see if you need any of these tools or utilities. Go ahead and let either Sparkle or the Chris Titus tool install those for you all at once. I'll go ahead and run a few here just to show you. I'll do Brave Browser. I'll grab VLC Video Player. And I'll grab GIMP Image Editor. And I'm going to go ahead and click Install. And you can see over here what's going on. I'll fast forward to these operations are complete. Okay, now you can see this is finished, and you can see it's added Brave, GIMP, and VLC Media Player to my desktop. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Now, one other thing that I want to show you. If you want to get a truly debloated version of Windows, you have to start with the install. Chris Titus gives you the ability to do that here by creating an ISO that does not contain all of the Microsoft third-party stuff and the HP stuff and all this other junk. You can do that here. I also have a video on doing an unattended install with an XML file. So you could literally take your brand new PC, insert a USB drive into it, and install a truly debloated version of Windows from the start. One other quick thing to do is let's jump over here to Task Manager. Let's go to your startup apps and let's disable anything here that we don't want to start up automatically. If you take a look down here at services, you can see a lot of these are stopped by those tools. And everything is nice and responsive. Not bad for 219 bucks plus a memory upgrade. And there you have it. A $219 laptop with a memory upgrade and debloated using Revo Uninstaller, Sparkle, and Titus text tool. Drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Be sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to take this brand new PC and convert it to Linux in the next video. Don't forget to check out some of these other video suggestions, and as always, thank you for watching, and until next time.